tag made in to Jay Fury. Fury and Rayme charging in. Oh, Jay Fury with a nice leg lariat there.
Almost poetic and graceful. Oh my goodness, charging lariat, just turning this poor man inside out. And little Willy with a baseball slide, or just maybe a low drop kick, in all honesty, breaking up that pin attempt, and it's breaking down at the NWA arena.
Halen lambasting little Willy.
Trying to get little Willy over the top must be a little difficult. Maybe he's not as little as they say.
Rayme and Fury with a hell of an exchange here in the ring. These two kids showing their stuff here. Nasty spin kick by Jay Fury.
The winners of your second fall, still the team of Nick Halen and Jay Fury.
Yes, it is a victory. Yes, they continue on in this tag team turmoil. I'm not quite sure how good they feel. Oh no, the ominous strains of LaGrange by ZZ Top. And I don't believe it's Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill making their way down the ramp here at the NWA arena.
Team number 4, Chad and Jason, the Dobbins brothers.
And a pair of drop kicks drops both Jason and Chad Dobbins. Will wonders never cease?
Good grief. These identical twin towers here. Just powering through Fury and Rayme. Jay Fury to the outside and hard. Nick Halen.
Oh my Lord.
Double choke slam.
Oh my goodness. Obviously the Dobbins advance.
Fall number 3, Al Getz' team of the Dobbins brothers.
Interesting development now. If the Dobbins continue on, will the Dobbins ultimately be facing Tank and Bulldog Reigns?
Team number 5, the team of Jeff Lewis and Kaos.
However, Jeff Lewis and Kaos hoping to thwart the Dobbins brothers midstream. Dobbins brothers already with one victory here tonight, but it was a short one, so I don't think they're all particularly winded here. I think both Chad and Jason are up for the task of Kaos and Jeff Lewis. And Kaos, he's no small guy.
Oh, Kaos is a hell of a young power wrestler. And he's used that power effectively against the Dobbins brothers before.
He's going to need it tonight. And Jeff Lewis is certainly no slouch in that department.
Jeff Lewis went toe-to-toe with Murder One, actually pinned him on an occasion or two. And that says a hell of a lot about Jeff Lewis.
And happily Murder One's not involved in here, but you have a pair of Dobbins brothers. Two big Oklahoma boys, so big they block out the sun. Of course, it is nighttime, so the point's moot. But Jeff Lewis ready to fight on back. Volley a fist to the head of Chad Dobbins.
The team that sent Total Destruction packing their bags. The team that helps send the Boogaloo crew packing their bags. Al Getz Enterprises are stating that they are the legend killers of Wildside in the tag team industry.
Well, I mean, we put it about the fly in the ointment here. I mean, the last time we saw the Dobbins brothers and Al Getz together, they weren't exactly buddy, shall we say?
Well, it looks like everything has been cleared up in that camp, however.
Might be. I mean, Al Getz and cooperation are mutually exclusive terms. Al Getz and Rogaine are mutually exclusive terms.
Double back elbows 2 times in a row. Still not enough to take down the Dobbins brother. A double drop kick was.
And perhaps Jeff Lewis and Kaos are the tag team combination that could perhaps see tag team gold. Able to get a win over the Dobbins brothers, quite the ultimate feather in their cap. Oh, Jason tripping up Jeff Lewis. And Chad turning Kaos inside out and needing the attempt.
The Dobbins brothers have Lewis. And there's the double choke slam once again.
And the Dobbins brothers continue on their merry way.
Advancing, Chad and Jason, the Dobbins brothers.
The Dobbins brothers not much closer to Bulldog Reigns and Tank. Oh my goodness! Jeremy Fee and Brandon P.
Jeremy Fee and Brandon P.
Now we're talking about a pair of tag team specialists here. Jeremy V, more recent than Brandon P, certainly.
Jeremy V, another man that's the uncrowned world television champion. Somebody that got royally screwed in that exchange, but always available to help out his buddy Brandon P when in need of a tag team partner. These two have given serious thought about a run in the tag team division, and it looks like that thought has gotten increasingly more serious over the past couple of weeks as they have thrown their names into the bucket for this tag team turmoil match. And at number 6, Drew, a nice number with only 8 teams entered in competition.
That's true, but you still have the Dobbins boys in your path. And that's among the tallest orders you're going to find in any professional wrestling organization.
Well, the Dobbins brothers quickly squashed the team of the very bright young star, Jay Fury and Nick Halen. And they put short work to Jeff Lewis and Kaos. So now will Brandon P and V suffer the same result?
Not quite so soon. Jeremy V able to get our shoulder up. And Brandon P getting the crowd behind him. No problem here at the NWA Arena. Jeremy V, a longtime favorite of the Wildside fans. Brandon P more recently becoming a favorite after the dissolvement of a Future Shock. Oh, big fist from Jason Dobbins. And an elbow knocking Brandon P off his perch while Speedy Nelson has his hands full. Well, the Dobbins brothers coming down from a big high have recently toured the state of Oklahoma, drawing some major 4-digit, 5-digit crowds in central states.
The Dobbins brothers' homecoming was a successful one, and now they're back here in Wildside to continue the damage.
Oh, big sidewalk slam levering Jeremy V. V able to get his shoulder up. Not a very convincing power out, but good enough to get rid of that 3 count.
Oh, V can take some of the most agonizing punishment and still come back that I've ever seen in Wildside, next to Jimmy Rayme in 2001.
Well, agonizing punishment, that seems to be the Dobbins brothers' MO. No problem there. The Dobbins brothers more than happy to comply in the punishment category.
Jeremy V, this is a guy that actually laid on the ground and had the iceberg jump on him from the top rope, had Justice attack him from the top rope. He still got up, managed to make Rayme submit and win the War Games back at Freedom Fight. This guy won't quit, I guarantee it.
Oh no, Al Getz wants a shot. Al Getz inadvertently slapped Jason Dobbins. Oh my goodness!
Ladies and gentlemen, advancing the team of Jeremy V and Brandon P.
I think P and V are as surprised as anyone.
And Jason and Chad Dobbins are hot.
Because Al Getz had to get involved, pretty much screwing up the chemistry of the Dobbins brothers when Al Getz, I'll tell you, and Al Getz and the Dobbins boys enjoying some more harsh words between them. Oh, Al, you got some splaining to do.
Well, let's see who drew the next number.
Shadow and Nemesis.
Apparently, it was decided that Nemesis has the credentials to be the next member of the Dark City Soldiers as they are increasing their numbers here. Spinning head scissors by P on Shadow.
A blind tag with Jeremy V. And a pair of drop kicks, rock and roll style, leveling Shadow Jackson. But the evening is young and Shadow's able to roll on out. And interesting, Todd, Sexton, and Masada hanging around ringside. A bit of an assist from Brandon P. Still not enough to pin down those big shoulders of Shadow Jackson. Perhaps Nemesis will be a bit more successful. Strike that.
Big arm drag there by Jeremy V onto Nemesis. And Nemesis, we know, does not have the glossiest one-loss record here in Wildside, but he is a pretty tough guy. And maybe his newfound allegiance with the Dark City Soldiers will serve as a turning point in his career.
Oh, goodness. Looks like Nemesis found the Achilles heel of Brandon P. First starting it off with a drop kick to that left knee. And they're sticking to it.
It does look like P has suffered some sort of injury here. I mean, that's a painful maneuver, don't get me wrong, but Brandon P is he's writhing in pain.
Well, if in any pro wrestling encounter you find a weakness in your opponent, hell, go for it. If your opponent's dumb enough to be involved in a matchup with a glaring weakness staring you in the face, hell, definitely capitalize. And apparently Nemesis and Shadow Jackson are doing just that.
He's got the ropes.
And Shadow Jackson is offering some leverage support for Nemesis. Look, I don't think Brandon P needs any more assistance in feeling pain at the moment.
The punishment done to that knee from that very exchange may have been enough to put Brandon P away entirely.
But Brandon P is one of quite a variety of competitors here to Wildside who are well known of gutting out some severe pain in order to emerge victorious.
If you want proof, Hardcore Hell 2003, the ladder match. Future Shock winning the Wildside Tag Team titles in that matchup. And it was one of the most god-awful displays of brutality I've ever seen. P managed to duck a clothesline there. Sent Shadow headfirst into his partner. The knee's still too injured for P to make a tag.
The pain must be excruciating to not being able to just crawl like 3 feet in order to tag Jeremy V. A man who's relatively fresh and ready to get involved in this matchup right away. And Shadow Jackson spending way too much time up on that second rope. P able to roll out in time. But is he able just to roll a few more feet? Tag the hand of Jeremy V. You're almost there, BP. Bingo.
Jeremy V is in the ring. He's cleaning house.
Jeremy V batting cleanup here on the Dark City Soldiers. And Brandon P lowering that top rope as Shadow Jackson goes sailing over the top.
1 minute remaining in this 5-minute period. 1 minute.
Brandon P, his variation of an ace crusher, guillotine leg drop by V. And they put away the Soldiers.
Ladies and gentlemen, advancing once again the team of Jeremy V and Brandon P.
Well, I guess we know who drew number 8.
The team of Todd, Sexton, and Masada.
Oh, good guess on your part, Dan. And conveniently enough, the Dark City Soldiers were hanging around at ringside. And the fact that they are first-hand witnesses to this matchup, they know that Brandon P's knee is in a severe state. And at the rate they're going, my goodness, a double pair of kip-ups from the DCS. And Masada, having been absent here from the rings of Wildside for quite a number of months, looks like he hasn't lost a step.
Masada making his return here to Wildside. And a tag team with Todd Sexton have been in the works for quite some time. These guys were bragging about it. Masada had some other commitments to tend to for a couple of months, but now he's back in Wildside, and he and Sexton appear to be going after the tag division full bore. Drew a hell of a number here, too, at number 8 with an injured Brandon P. It would almost seem that a guaranteed shot at the tag team title is on the horizon for Sexton and Masada, but nothing, fans, is guaranteed in this sport.
No, because you certainly don't want to count out Jeremy V and Brandon P under any circumstances, but Jeremy V has had to deal with an awful lot of punishment from all 4 members of the Dark City, or 4 members of the Dark City, not all 4, but certainly 4 of them here this evening. But a very injured Brandon P is standing on the sidelines here, which puts V and P at a severe disadvantage.
Sexton going for a German suplex. Jeremy V counters. German suplex, and Sexton lands right on his head.
Nothing inside, it's no loss. Tag on Brandon P. I'm not quite sure how smart that was. Of course, I don't know what condition V was in to continue on. P seems to be functioning relatively well.
P may be showing a mistake here due to inexperience, and that he looks to be okay, but then again, Sexton going right to the knee, and P writhing in pain once more.
P is screaming his head off as Sexton goes right back
3 minutes
for that left knee.
3 minutes.
I mean, Sexton was there to see the initial damage being placed on that knee, and he's here to hopefully capitalize so the Dark City Soldiers can continue on in their quest for tag team gold. And in some respects, I wouldn't mind seeing Dark City Soldiers and Tank and Bulldog Rayme teaming up. Maybe they can all eliminate each other.
Oh, talk about a fight.
Yeah.
Sexton off the ropes, now drop kick to the knee of Brandon P.
Brandon P is in damn near tears.
Achilles hold.
God, that's searing pain he must be experiencing here.
Final period, 2 minutes.
If he's able to hang on for 2 minutes, unfortunately that means he would be eliminated from this tag team turmoil. It's a pin or nothing. And you have only 90 seconds to pull it off.
Dragon screw leg whip on the injured knee of Brandon P. Ripping the cartilage out piece by piece are the team of Sexton and Masada.
Oh, my.
Todd Sexton bombs away, knee drop from the top, and Masada sends Jeremy V into the guardrail.
Masada has absolutely no heart whatsoever. A completely cold and ruthless competitor as Todd Sexton is wrapping the knee around that iron post.
They are trying to completely remove this kid's patella.
1 minute. 1 minute remains in this final period. 60 seconds.
I think they're trying to remove Brandon P from the roster of Wildside.
Trying to send him the way of his former partner, Jay Freeze, but P with a Gibson roll out of the corner. No, Todd Sexton right back on the knee. He just did not have the leg strength to keep Sexton in a pinning combination.
And P's ready to tag Jeremy V. And an Enzugiri with everything that P had left. Todd Sexton not
30
loopy.
seconds. 30 seconds remain.
But can Brandon P make a tag to Jeremy V because he's in no shape to pin Todd Sexton?
2 Enzugiris, but I just don't know that it's going to be enough. The time limit is drawing nigh.
15 seconds.
Jeremy V's got to be
10,
going for a pinfall quickly,
9,
and it's breaking down
8,
between he and Masada.
7, 6, 5,
And a
4,
pin attempt by Jeremy
3,
V.
2, 1.
And no go, and the time limit has expired.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired for this, the final fall of Tag Team Turmoil. As a result, we rule this one a draw.
Well, it's a draw. Oh, come on. Now, both teams eliminated, which made the matchup null and void, but unfortunately, that's the rules. But that last chop block from Todd Sexton was absolutely unnecessary. Oh, wait a minute.
And speaking of the devil, might have backed up 3 of them.
Brandon P., week after week, you have teamed up with everyone in the dressing room to try and get a shot at these tag team titles. Once again, you've come oh so close, but unfortunately, since that last bout was a draw, you have not, in the eyes of Wildside, earned a title shot. But I'll tell you something, you have earned my respect. So I'll tell you what, I'm feeling kind of generous. I say that we give Brandon P. and Jeremy V. a title shot right now. Get him!
Wait a second here. V and Brandon P are in no shape to compete. I'll try telling that to V and P.
Oh, a lot of courage exhibited by the tag team champions here. The team of V and P are far from 100%.
And another one of those famous non-tags. We could put out a box set of non-tag videotapes, you know?
Power bomb. Now locks on the STF. Jeremy V in there to break it up, and he had to. It was an absolute necessity if he wanted to continue in this tag team title match.
Frankly, at this stage of the game, it is up to Jeremy V to continually save Brandon P.
60 seconds remains in the time limit. 1 minute remaining.
The knee just couldn't handle anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners and still the NWA Wildside Tag Team Champions, Tank and Bulldog Rayme.
Not an ideal championship matchup for the contenders' sake, for sure.
Tank and Bulldog definitely picking their spot. They saw how far. Oh, choke breaker onto Speedy.
Well, that's bad news for our senior official. And Jeremy V rolling Brandon P out of harm's way, but way too much harm has already been inflicted on the left knee of Brandon P. To the point that I don't think we'll be seeing Brandon P in the rings of Wildside anytime soon.